Blue Lock, Blue Lock, Blue Lock. We get it. You like Blue Lock. I do too. But honestly, I'm hard pressed to call it a sports manga. It's really just a battle shonen with soccer as the power system, which is really hype, do not get me wrong. But trust me, as a true sports manga, AoAshi is where it's at. And real quick, we all know Slam Dunk is the GOAT, and it's my favorite manga of all time in any genre, so that's why we have modern in the title, just to get that out of the way. AoAshi follows AoAshi, a middle school soccer ace from a small rural town who gets scouted by an ex-player and current manager of the Tokyo City Esperion youth team to try out for their soccer academy. Ashito travels across the country with one initial goal, to join the Esperion Academy and work his way up to becoming a professional soccer player, which would allow him to take care of his mother, who has worked hard as a single parent for him and his brother. However, he quickly realizes that he's a small fish in a big pond, and will have to rebuild his soccer knowledge from the ground up to make it to the world stage. One of the most important aspects in crafting an engaging sports series, well, any series in general, but especially with sports, which could be hit or miss for some, is the investment in the characters. If you are invested in their journey, any sport can become exciting to follow, and I mean any sport. AoAshi has a great ensemble cast, which makes you even more invested in each match, aside from the fact that I already like soccer. First off is the main character, Ashito, who is a fun protagonist, but it takes a second for that to be apparent. Very early on, especially in the anime with the help of the voice acting, Ashito is on the verge of being like Asta in early Black Clover, screaming, and more screaming. However, as the story develops, Ashito becomes very endearing, particularly through the earnest effort he puts into developing his soccer fundamentals. Of course he has his goals that you want him to achieve, but the key to Ashito's character is just how evident it is that he loves the sport of soccer. You can't just help but appreciate those moments when everything he's been working on clicks for him during a match, and he enters a zone that makes him nearly untouchable. Of course, Ashito is supported by his coach and mentor, Fukuda, who has his own ambitions of making it to the world stage as a coach after having his career cut short as a player. Fukuda brings out not only the best in Ashito, but the entire team, and sometimes in ways that they can only appreciate with the help of time, which gives extra weight to anything he says as a reader. The primary character that grounds Ashito outside of soccer is Hana, Coach Fukuda's younger sister who helps out at the academy. Not only is she an aspiring sports doctor, which gives her a way to help Ashito in his development, but she has a good relationship with Ashito's mother, and is the only person at the academy that can get him out of his own head in the way his mother would want. The relationship develops as a minor romantic subplot, but Hana is a great character because she has her own ambitions that run parallel to Ashito's at times, and even when they don't, she isn't afraid to put her goals first. Although Ashito, Fukuda, and Hana are probably the three most important individual characters, AoAshi thrives on the strength of its ensemble cast, most of which are made up of Esperion youth team players. We get to follow the stories of many of the players, who each have had either different paths to getting where they are or unique obstacles that they are facing now. This, combined with the exploration of the opponent's stories during matches, makes for compelling storytelling in the build-up to games and amazing payoff. The most intriguing teammate of Ashito's is Akutsu, who serves as one of the main roadblocks to Ashito from within the academy. The development of their relationship is extremely well done, which intertwines with Akutsu's upbringing and personal development. I don't even want to hint at that, as it's such a great part of the story that you just have to experience for yourself. Trust me. Now, I didn't think I'd be talking about world building much in a sports manga, but AoAshi actually has it. We all love tournament arcs, well at least I do, which is why I think sports stories have the most built-in hype in all of shonen, but AoAshi has that and then some. First off is the league system, which soccer fans know is the best format to follow for a whole season, which I do as a Chelsea fan. Kill me. Tournaments don't allow for losses, which most sports and manga use to their advantage in the Japanese school system, with a loss in the summer tournament, but a win in the winter tournament. This forces most of the character growth and skill development to happen between the first and the second tournament, or even in between each tournament match, and even further, during the matches themselves. The genius of the league format in the story is that it allows for a roller coaster of emotions throughout the season, as you can lose games but still be in contention for the title. This means that Ashito, his teammates, and even his coaches get to learn from their mistakes in each game and immediately apply what they've worked on in the next, or potentially even sitting out of games for the players. AoAshi takes its development even further by not being primarily set in a high school, but in a professional soccer academy on the youth team, which has both an A and B team. This automatically sets goals for Ashito, as he has to climb the ranks from the B team to the A team, and eventually from the A team to the senior team that plays in the professional league. This is on top of also having a tournament that runs alongside the league, so we get tournament hype too. There is also the running theme of the academy teams versus the high school teams, as the youth leagues and tournaments are competitions that include both kinds of youth setups. And later in the manga, we expand to other countries in a really natural way, which makes sense since the goal of multiple characters in the manga is to make it to the world stage. The art in AoAshi is beautiful, flat out, and not only in the sense that it's nice to look at generally, but it's also really easy to follow the flow of the game, which is essential for a sports series. The art is in perfect harmony with the thoughts and discussion between characters that happens during the matches, making each development clear to the reader. There is also an elite level emphasis put on the most impactful and decisive moments in the game, which helps with giving the readers goosebumps during those climactic panels. And if you don't believe me, just look at these selection of panels. Yes, I know what you're thinking. This looks great. Start reading now. Well, actually not yet. Give me a few more minutes. I have a couple more things to say. Okay, if you got to this point in the video, you might be interested in reading AoAshi. Once again, you definitely should. But there's one thing I didn't mention in this video, because I don't want to downplay how good chapters 1 through 60 are. But if you somehow aren't convinced and make it to chapter 61, you will thank yourself for the perseverance. In chapter 61, AoAshi gets elevated from a pretty good manga to an unbelievably amazing one, and the story takes off from that point to become the pinnacle of modern sports manga. Thanks for watching, especially if you made it this far. Comment your favorite sports manga or anime and why. I'll try to check it out if I haven't already. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff, I'd really appreciate it. This should be the first video that goes live on my channel, so I'm really figuring out what my style is going to be in terms of these recommendation style videos, but I figured AoAshi was a good place to start. I'm going to do a lot of different types of videos, switch it up, and if you leave a lot of recommendations, I definitely will try to check those out and make videos on those too, so we can make it a community kind of thing. Once again, I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you can make it to the next video whenever that comes out. Should be this time next week. See ya.